Good afternoon once again, everybody. Welcome back to the Pete Maravich Assembly Center on the campus of LSU, site for the first two rounds of the Baton Rouge Regional for the women's NCAA tournament. Pleased to be joined by LSU head coach Kim Mulkey as LSU, the 3 seed, will take on 14th seed Hawaii on Friday in Game 2 here in Baton Rouge, scheduled for probably around a 4:45 tip or so, give or take. Coach, welcome. Congratulations on the 3 seed and being a host. And with that, we want to open up to the floor. If anybody has any questions for Coach Mulkey, please raise your hand and we will bring a microphone to you.
Coach, the importance of the supporting cast. You know, you have a total team, but LaDeja's importance to y'all's success and her ability to help Angel down low. I guess could you speak to that while not maybe getting the attention she maybe gets?
LaDeja, the table is something that I think all the good teams that will advance in the tournament have experience. She's an older player, doesn't require a lot of attention. She's not high maintenance. She doesn't have one of those big personalities like some of the others do, but she gets the job done. She's very smart, does things on the floor that the average person doesn't realize she just did to help us win ball games. And I wish I had more LaDeja's because there's no substitute for experience in being an older player.
How do you think the team has responded to like the last month or so of adversity as much as you can as a 22 team? How much just maybe like some losses, maybe some disrespect from other people?
I'm going to try to answer, but I don't look at I don't think we've gotten any disrespect. But then again, I don't read social media. I don't pay much attention to people's opinions. We're 28-2. We've been in the top 10 all year. We finished second behind the national champions. Maybe the only adversity would be losing the 17-point lead to Tennessee. No coach likes that. No competitor likes that. But after a few days of cooling off, you keep perspective. Tennessee was supposed to finish second in this league and did not. So I look at it like we overachieved. We weren't picked to finish second.
I know coaches don't like to compare teams, but how much better prepared is your team program and outside of the talent that you have for this year's NCAA tournament as last year?
I know that we're much more prepared than last year because you have 9 new pieces. And see, that's what people keep forgetting. Alexis Morris was with us last year. Angel may have a little taste of it when she was at Maryland. Day, maybe. I can't really tell you if she has or has not. Of course, Flagey has not. Jasmine, you know, there's not many of them that have had the experience that you really need to say, I know what to expect. They've had the experience of playing on our court in front of our fans, but I think it's going to be an awakening for several of them that have to play key roles for us.
We talked about Flagey a lot and just her impact on the game as a freshman. You mentioned as a freshman a lot. One of the things the girls talked about when they were in here was her ability to do both at a high level. I guess, where does that maturity come from? Where does that drive come from that you see?
I don't know how she does what she does. I don't think any of you really understand what that kid does every day. I don't understand it. I guess she requires very little sleep. She's up at the crack of dawn working her other craft. Then she has to go to school. Then she has to go to study hall. Then she has to come to practice. She makes it work. If you have a good work ethic and something is important to you, you figure it out. And she's been able to figure it out, and I have not seen that it affects her in any way on the court. Sometimes I see her, I don't want to say tired, but sometimes I see her maybe preoccupied, but that's not any more than you see with a normal freshman this time of year. In high school, their state championships are over by now, so they're done. Now you add another month of conditioning and weightlifting and all this stuff to their life, that's the adjustment sometimes that you see with freshmen.
Coach Mulkey, I just talked to Angel in the locker room, and she seems to have this even deeper hunger to make a push in the postseason. What have you seen from her so far?
I have seen that, and I attribute that. I may be wrong. I haven't asked her, but I attribute that to the Tennessee game, the last game. I think that when you are considered an All-American, one of the best players in the country, sometimes you take it a little bit harder and go, what did I not do good? I could have done this better. And then after showing them the film and her being a big part of that last play against Tennessee, and she didn't do what she was supposed to do, I think it gnaws at her. And she's had very good practices. Not that she doesn't, but I have been able to say to the staff that she's on another level again right now.
Hey, Kim, you've had a chance to look at Hawaii, and what are some of your impressions of them? Are they one of those classic teams on a hot streak when they hit the tournament?
Jim, Hawaii, I said this the other day, it's really strange in life about timing. Never have I watched as many conference tournaments in my coaching until this year. And I was watching them, channel surfing, and going, why am I doing this? Well, the reason, I don't have kids. I'm not at their ball games. I don't have grandkids with me. And so that's why I watched. And ironically, when I was channel surfing Saturday, there's Cal Santa Barbara and Hawaii playing, and I stopped and watched it because of Bonnie Hendrickson. She and I go back to the Big 12 together. And that is strange that we now get to play Hawaii. So I got to watch their comeback against Cal Santa Barbara and got to watch it right there live. So to describe them to you, they are more experienced than they were last year. They got in the tournament last year, went to my old place. Baylor beat them pretty handedly. They were young then, but they got in the tournament last year. And I think they won the league and the tournament last year. So they bring back those players that have that experience you're talking about, and they bring in a transfer at the point who dribbles the heck out of a basketball till she finds somebody open and gives them an open shot. That's maturity. They shoot the three ball. They're going to shoot it a lot. But in order to get that three ball look, they dribble penetrate. So we've played teams like that. We understand. Their transition is not super fast, but it's a controlled transition that you better get back and you better fan out and find shooters. Their coach, been there 11 years, so she has her system in place. I even watched it so close, that the last play to win it, they slipped a screen. And I remember the young lady who slipped the screen and got an N1 in her interview after the game. And the reporter asked her a question, were you surprised? And she said, no, I'm a winner. I'm a winner is what she told that reporter. So if you've got players on your team that have that mentality, they're bringing it. We better be ready.
Stories in women's basketball, but Alexis's story is one of the great ones, I guess, to be where she's at right now in her career and to be available to play this season. How important is that for your team?
What a story. And I think those of you who haven't seen it, LSU Gold did a remarkable, detailed story with her, her mother, her grandmother, and it's long, but it's well worth watching and listening to. Last year, she played the off guard because we had Kayla Pointer. This year, she has the ball in her hands. Alexis Morris is one of the quickest in the game, just lightning quick, can shoot the three ball as good as any perimeter player. She's not going to be what you call big in stature, like, 5'8", 5'10" on the perimeter. She might be 5'6", 5'7". Plays just like you would want a perimeter player to play. She comes off screens. You want her shooting the shot to win the game. You want her to shoot the free throw to win the game. And she's that senior that we need more of because they have a sense of urgency and they just don't ever want their college career to end.
Coach, there's a lot of special athletes on this campus, and getting a chance to talk to them how they support one another. Haley Bryant yesterday, who just had this amazing gymnastics meet, says she fangirls over you and Angel Reese, and Reese says the same thing. She fangirls over Haley. Just what's it like to be on the campus and see things like that, and to know that you make an impact like that?
Jock, sometimes I think you have a secret recorder in my head and in my car, because y'all ask questions. The gentleman that works with you, remember he asked the question that day about field goal percentage defense, and I'm thinking, that impresses me that y'all are as into it as you are, because you don't just show up and ask a question. We had an early morning practice yesterday because we're on spring break. And I was reminiscing a little bit. I don't do that much, but I was waiting for my grandkids to get here. And I was thinking, I've been doing this a long time. And I don't know that I am responsible for other programs demanding greatness from themselves or whatever, but I've been blessed to have people think that. And I got to thinking, look at our softball team. Okay? Look what volleyball did this year in her first year. Look what Brian Kelly did in his first year. I hope that someone could say, I'm trying to keep up with her. When I see that woman and I see her practices, I want to do what she does. Because I think that's a sign of hard work, respect, and when you can have an entire athletic department win, man, it's fun. I got the opportunity to do that in 2012 at Baylor University. Go look at every program at Baylor in 2012. They called it the Year of the Bear. And I want to see that for everybody. I was at softball. I was at baseball. I went to gymnastics. I did all that in one day after we practiced. I'm going to sneak in and sneak out, but I enjoy that. We represent each other. We represent this institution. And certainly when football and men's basketball win, we reap the money. They're our cash cow. But nonetheless, I just was reminiscing about, man, this could get special here in the next 3 to 4 to 5 years. I really believe that. Haley Bryant, I go to that first meet last year because she texts me. I get to watch her have a perfect 10. I texted her after she had 3 in one meet, and I said, I've seen some 10s in my life. Bo Derek was a 10. She didn't know who Bo Derek was. Okay? I said, but I've never seen 3 10s. She just said, thank you, Coach Mulkey. You just do that periodically. Baseball, okay? I'm going to test you here. Who had the retina surgery? He asked me to go to the purple and gold game and be the coach. I love doing that. And I'm talking trash to, who tore his knee up last year, humping around and jumping in a huddle? Okay, so he goes and he's coaching the other team, and I'm hollering at him, hey, don't do too much of that jumping around. Your knees don't last. They loved it. But see, I keep up with them. How does she know that? I know it because I keep up with sports. And when he hit the ball the other day, I congratulated him. You know, I can't do it for everybody, but you want everybody to do good. You're selfish and territorial about certain things within your program. Let's make that clear. But if you can help somebody else with their program, I'm all for it.
Hey, Coach. Angel said that from start to finish, you guys have to put your foot on the pedal. Is that what your mindset also is going into this game? What do you have to do? Like, what are you going to tell your players to start, early in this game?
Well, you got to win first. Hawaii is talented. Hawaii presents problems for us on the defensive end of the floor because they shoot so many threes. We have bigs out there that are going to have to guard three-point shooters. They got to guard us too. So what she's referring to is we have had significant leads this year, and we don't separate ourselves and continue to have that big lead. We allow, on mistakes that we make, other teams to cut into the lead. Now, sometimes they cut into the lead because they're just better than we are. But if you break down a film and you show them, we only lost by 2 to Tennessee. Look what you didn't do. Look what you didn't do. Look what you didn't do. Now, South Carolina was a different beast. Okay, you got it handed to you there. Everybody's going to get themselves handed by South Carolina. I've said it from day one. If they don't win it all and go undefeated, I will be shocked. Okay? They're that good, and they have that much depth. But you got competitors, and competitors want to play against the best. So that's not a knock that somebody can't beat them. I just would be shocked if they did. That's a compliment to Dawn and South Carolina. So she's talking about separation. We have to learn to keep separating ourselves and understand that you got to play as hard in the third and fourth quarter as you did in the first and second quarter.
Coach, thank you very much. Okay. LSU's practice starts at 10 after 1. It will be open for the first 15 minutes to the media. Then it'll be closed for the remainder of practice. We will be back here in this room at 2:05 Central Time. That's when we will welcome the players from UNLV to talk about their game. Until then, thank you for joining us and have a good afternoon from Baton Rouge.